Hi everybody! So it has been quite a while since my last video and I apologize. As you can see by how empty everything is behind me and the nails sticking out of the walls and all of that, I am in the process of moving. Oh my god, right? It's finally happening. I've been saying that I'm going to move to Seattle for the past year and it's finally happening. So I have not had enough time, I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and really read, and things have been really hectic and stressful around here. So I just really haven't had the time to make a video and I apologize. But this week, things are going to be a little different. I'm going to be uploading a video every day this week, and that is because I am participating in the Treesofreverie read-a-thon on Tumblr. And if you don't know what that is, I'm going to post a link below to her Tumblr, and you can go ahead and take a look at what's going on, or you can browse the tag on Tumblr, Treesofreverie read-a-thon. There probably will even be things on YouTube about it, or even Goodreads. There's a Goodreads group for it. So you can always check things out there. Or if you want to ask any questions, feel free in the comments section below to go ahead and ask me any questions you have, or you can even message me on Tumblr. I'll put all of my links below as well. And so that is what this week is all about, my Treesofreverie read-a-thon. Yay! So it's all taking place in Australian time, in the Australian time zone. Obviously, I live in Washington State, on the other side. I'm almost a full day behind in the time zone. So I am doing things on their time zone. So I'm on my second day of the readathon instead of my first day. So I have already started on my second book, but I wanted to go ahead and take a moment while my son is napping to go ahead and make a video about the first book that I have read this week, and that is Rainbow Rowell's Attachments. So the main thing that I'm challenging myself with this week is I am going to read all books that are targeted for my demographic or are new adult. So I'm not going to be reading any young adult books, none. And I'm not going to be reading any cliched romance novels, which are my two favorite kind of books to read. I'm not going to read either of those this week. I'm only going to be reading books that deal with people my age or close to it. So this first book is Rainbow Rowell's Attachments, and when you read a book about someone my age or even watch television shows or see movies, there is an unrealistic portrayal of what it is like to be in your late 20s. I just can't even get my head around the scripts or some of the books that people write, because a lot of people that are my age are not established successfully in any way. A lot of people my age don't own their own homes. A lot of people my age don't live in awesome loft apartments. A lot of people my age just don't have those things because we were taught, it's a different kind of generation than it was for my parents. We were taught that it's okay to take your 20s to just do whatever you want to do. That is really what being in your 20s is about. You don't have to know who you are in your 20s. You just have to not fuck up your future too much in your 20s, which I didn't take into account a lot in my early 20s. I thought I had my whole life, whatever. But anyways, so when you see things in movies and television shows and these people have these crazy loft apartments or, really own their own homes or do a lot, those things do happen, but it's not common. I want to say it's not common because I've only met 2 or 3 people in my entire lifetime that are that age in my age group that have those things. Most of the people I know still have roommates, still go out and get wasted every night, go to shows, they still shop at Forever 21, even though they probably shouldn't be, just kind of things like that. That's most of the people that I know my age are like that. So it was really a refreshing read, this book, because it is a more realistic portrayal of what someone is like at my age. And a lot of people, when they are my age, don't know who they are yet. They just don't. They have more of a grasp on it than they would in their early 20s, but people are still discovering themselves. I discovered myself when I became a mother. That made me who I am. I am a mom. That I realize that now, my son's almost 2 and I couldn't imagine doing anything else with my life than being a mom. So things like that are happening in your late 20s, you're really realizing who you are and everything that surrounds you. So this book is like that, and it follows our narrator, Lincoln. He is a young man who is 28, almost 29 years old, and it takes place in 1999 during the Y2K scare, and he is internet security for the Courier, which is a newspaper in Nebraska. And what he does is he monitors intra-office emails and basically monitors the internet activity of its employees to make sure that they are staying on task and doing their job. And if you were around in the late 90s, and I don't mean like a kid, but someone that was like really knew what was going on with the Y2K scare, internet was still a relatively new thing in homes and in offices, like in the mid to late 90s. And so it was very a new thing, and it was a different world. Like there weren't camera phones, there weren't any of that, and like webcams are super grainy. People didn't always have pictures and stuff online, so things were just a lot different than they are now. And that's when porn became accessible to everybody. So I mean, you could imagine that people that don't have internet at home but have internet at work were probably looking at those things. So that was his job, was to monitor that. And in the process of monitoring these emails, he stumbles across correspondence between two friends, Jennifer and Beth. And so you see a lot of their emails throughout the book, and he is kind of coming of age in this job. He lives at home. He's still trying to get over his college or his high school girlfriend that he broke up with his freshman year of college. He didn't know what to do, so he ended up getting 2 master's degrees. He just stayed in school because that's what he was good at. He's living at home. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life, and in the meantime has this job to just kind of get himself by. And it's the first job he's had where he hasn't had to worry about, money, because it's actually a very well-paying job. And he doesn't work with people because he has to work at night. And it's just kind of crazy. It is a more realistic portrayal of someone my age, and I really loved that. It's one of those books where you get towards the end, it's like 10 to 20 pages left and the thing is resolved, so you kind of like start to have a little freak out, but everything does get resolved in the end. But it's one of those, and it moves at a really good pace. I really loved it. I love that he slowly realizes that his job kind of is weird and creepy. And he really becomes super entranced in these conversations that these two girlfriends have, and he's never seen these people, but he wants to know them and feels like he's a part of their lives, and it's so cute. This book is adorable. It's so cute on so many levels. I absolutely love it. There was not a single character in this book that I didn't like. And there are times when you don't want to like his ex-girlfriend, and you don't want to like his love interest's boyfriend, but you can't help but still like these people because the way she writes about them, it's just what normal people do. Normal people change. Normal people go through changes, especially, in college or outside of college when they're reaching their 30s and things aren't going the way that they thought they would. People change. And so it's really a good book to represent that change in people as they get older and coming of age and realizing who you are and all of that and the people that you surround yourself with while that's happening. So this is such a good book. I definitely recommend it. It is the cutest book I have read. It is now going to be shelved with the rest of my favorites. Rainbow Rowell can do no wrong in my eyes. I know that a bunch of 16 and 17-year-old girls probably sit around and talk about how much they love John Green. That is how I feel about Rainbow Rowell. I absolutely love her. She is my John Green. I think that her books are gold. They really are. I can relate to all of her books, even her YA books. There are parts of them that I see in myself, and I absolutely love them. I love the way that she writes because she writes real people. She doesn't write manic pixie dream girls. She doesn't write these unobtainable guys. She writes real people that aren't super skinny, that have problems, that have real life problems, that have issues, mental health issues even, and deal with things at home that you don't really see in other books, that kind of get sugar-coated or swept under the rug. So those are things that I really love about Rainbow Rowell. And if you like, I'm not big on contemporary stories. I really like fantasy, high fantasy, all of that. But Rainbow Rowell writes contemporary stories that are actually relatable. So I love that. So if you have not read this book, please read it. And so for the next couple of, I guess the next 6 days, look out for some videos because I'll have some more for you. But check this book out if you haven't. It's super cute. I loved it.